I'll start off with hepatitis. Okay. Now, hepatitis is essentially used to describe a uh, inflammation of this thing liver, but it is because of a viral condition wherein it is because of a hepatotropic virus. So something caused by a hepatotropic virus. Once again, yeah. So there are six different types of viruses that can cause hepatitis. Even though the sixth one is not completely understood or not completely uh, how should I put it, researched completely. Okay, you can have HAV, HBV, HCV, HDV, EV, and GV. Okay, so there are six types. We'll start off with HAV. So hepatitis itself can be caused by six different types of viruses known to man till now. There are others as well. Um, HAV, BV, CV, DV, HEV, and HGV. Okay, six different types of hepatitis viruses. Now, coming to the first one, hepatitis A virus, this is generally a benign type of virus, benign type of disease itself. It's a very self-limiting disease. Even if you don't provide proper treatment, if the patient is healthy and if they are given, proper food and all, they will recover themselves. Okay. Incubation period for this disease, incubation period is somewhere in between 15 to 45 days. Okay. So once the virus has entered into the patient's body, it will take 15 to 45 days to show any clinical symptoms altogether. And the main way through which this virus is being transmitted is through fecal-oral route. Okay. HAV and HEV, both of them uh, rely on fecal-oral route. Okay, the others will have a different route, but HAV and HEV, remember this, HAV and HEV will have a fecal oral route. So contaminated food, contaminated water, वहाँ से आता HAV and HEV. And it most frequently, HIV especially affects individuals in between the ages of 5 to 14 years of age. Okay. Adults are infected, but not they will not have a proper disease as such. It is rarer. More often than not, what happens is adults will become a carrier and they will spread it to children. So adults will not exactly get HIV clinical symptoms as much, but they will spread it to children who will present with HIV infection. Okay. The pathology of HIV is not completely understood, but what we do know is that you will see a few immunological markers. In all of hepatitis, you will see a few markers for certain type of proteins that are present in your blood through which you can identify whether the person is having hepatitis or not. Specific to HAV, there are two markers, two immunological markers. The first one is an IgM antibody. ठीक है इसको IgM anti HAV antibody भी बोलते हैं ठीक है this will be seen in the serum at the onset of symptoms. As soon as symptomology starts, the symptoms of hepatitis start, the patient will have fever, they will have a little bit of nausea. Sometimes, if it is very extreme, jaundice bhi hone lagta, but essentially weakness, malaise, they'll lose their appetite, all of that will happen. So, whenever symptoms start, that is when you see IgM type of antibody. Eventually, what will happen is as the disease progresses a little bit, you will start seeing IgG type of antibodies. ठीक है IgG antibodies are detected after IgM antibody, and these IgG antibodies will generally give lifelong protection, lifelong immunity to HIV. ठीक है so I'll repeat once again. You will see two serological markers in patients who have HIV infection. The first serological marker is IgM anti-HIV antibody. The second is IgG anti-HIV antibody. ठीक है IgM is present at symptom onset of symptoms. So as soon as incubation period ends and symptomology starts, that is when you start seeing IgM antibodies. Eventually what will happen is IgG antibodies develop, and these IgG antibodies are able to give lifelong immunity. Then we have HBV. This is a more severe kind of disease because this is also called serum hepatitis. If you're having doubts, if you're not understanding anything, please feel free to stop me, okay? And stop me in the middle as well. I don't mind. I can put it in the chat as well if you have a doubt. Okay, so as I was saying, hepatitis B, serum hepatitis, is caused by hepatitis B virus, as the name suggests. Now, it has a longer incubation period when compared to HAV. This can stay in your body without showing any symptoms for almost 6 months. Okay, 30 to 180 days is the incubation period, and the route of transmission for this is IV. So it can occur through parenteral transmission, parenterally. It can occur through, um, it mainly occurs through blood products, recipients of blood, yeah, any blood products, transfusion, blood transfusion हो रहा, या फिर IV drug addicts, patients treated with renal dialysis, या फिर hospital workers who are exposed to blood, ठीक है, who are exposed to the blood of these HBV patients, or intimate physical contact, for example, mother and child, ठीक है, या फिर sexual contact, that can also lead to perinatal contact wherein it is mother to child, or it can be intercourse as well, sexual contact, that can lead to transmission of HBV virus. All right, another important thing I forgot to tell you, HAV does not have an envelope. Okay, the virus itself will not have an envelope around it. So envelope is a bilipid layer. ठीक है, थोड़े लोगों को लिपिड बाई लेयर रहता, थोड़े हेपेटाइटिस वायरसेस को लिपिड बाई लेयर रहता, एचएवी को नहीं रहता. This fellow will have HBV. It will have an envelope. The mechanism through which this virus enters into the body and starts growing is the same. इससे पहले अपन antivirals पढ़ रहे जब we studied, right? A virus will uncoat, it will come to the this thing, to your cell, it will uncoat, it will enter, it will, leave its genetic material. The genetic material combines into the human's genetic material, and whenever that DNA, your DNA is replicating, the viral DNA or viral RNA, whatever it is, that will replicate as well. Because of which you will get daughter virions and proteins and enzymes of the virus. Eventually, what will happen is the human cell will burst open with a lot of virions, viral load coming out essentially. So HBV जो है, HBV will have a envelope. ठीक है, लिपिड बाइलेयर का envelope रहता है, and this has a double stranded DNA. HBV is the DNA type of virus. ठीक है, remember that no other type of virus is a DNA. No other type of hepatitis virus is a DNA. HBV specifically is a DNA type of virus. All right. Now the pathogenesis is not completely understood, but what we do know is that it has a much more stronger response when compared to HIV. ठीक है, it will cause much more severe condition as well. So HBV जो है, this fellow can cause severe form of illness like acute hepatitis. Later on, we'll discuss what are the different stages of the disease itself. First, we'll discuss the viruses, then we'll discuss the disease. We have, it can cause hepatitis, acute hepatitis. In some patients, this acute hepatitis can turn into chronic. Okay, so hepatitis B can cause acute hepatitis, it can cause chronic hepatitis, it can progress to cirrhosis. If not controlled, it can lead to irreversible liver damage, which is cirrhosis. Sometimes it can cause fulminant hepatitis. Fulminant hepatitis is a special type of hepatitis. Any fulminant condition, it means that something very severe is occurring very suddenly. So, for example, आप लोगों का मैलिग्नेंट हाइपरटेंशन के बारे में कभी पढ़े या कभी सुने? Whenever you went to clinicals, या hypertensive emergency. अच्छा, तो think of it this way: a patient who has hypertension normally. Let us suppose they have stage 1 hypertension, wherein their blood pressure, normal blood pressure should be 120 by 80, right? Let us suppose their blood pressure is somewhere around 140 by 90. Okay, that is a little high but still controllable, that is fine, not a big problem. And then there are patients who have a normal blood pressure of 160 or 170 by 100. Okay, they will definitely need drugs. Now this is happening over a long period of time. Okay, they are not controlling their eating habits and lifestyle, and several things are happening and their blood pressure is becoming like that. Fulminant, if I compare it with blood pressure, fulminant agar hypertension mein bola, even though fulminant hypertension does not occur, there is something called malignant hypertension, is a condition in which the blood pressure will suddenly spike to 180. Okay, because of extreme stress or because of whatever the reason might be, blood pressure will suddenly spike to 180 by 100 or 180 by 120, or it sometimes it might even go up to 200. Okay, so suddenly the condition is becoming very very worse. The same thing will happen in hepatitis. Fulminant hepatitis is a very severe type of hepatitis that occurs very rapidly. The progression is very rapid, it is not slowly like chronic. Okay, HBV has the capacity of causing fulminant hepatitis as well. It can cause cirrhosis, fulminant hepatitis, it can cause chronic hepatitis, acute hepatitis, and in certain people it will lead to asymptomatic carrier stage. Okay, that person will become a carrier and they'll become asymptomatic, they will not present any symptoms altogether, but they'll be a carrier. Okay, they'll carry it and they will transmit it to other people without showing any symptoms. So HBV is a much more serious kind of infection compared to HIV. Now coming to the pathology, see, one main thing that you need to remember why HBV is having such a strong response is that this fellow will infect CD8 plus T cells. ठीक है, these are getting quite damaged. ठीक है, यहाँ पर damage itself is initiated by the virus which infect these CD8 plus T cells. So last year we had discussed what are CD4 plus T cells and CD8 plus T cells. These are the cytotoxic type of T cells. तो इसको इन्फेक्शन में ये बहुत एग्रेसिव हो जाते हैं and these T cells will start damaging the cell, the normal cell of the hepatocyte essentially. Now, the main serological markers that you see, first serological marker or the most important serological marker that you see is HBS antigen. Okay? This is also called hepatitis B surface antigen. Okay, that is why HBS antigen. This will appear after 6 weeks. After 6 weeks of infection. Okay? HBS antigen is an antigen that is produced that will appear inside the blood of that patient 6 weeks after infection, and its detection is an indicator of HBV infection. Whenever you see a patient with HBS antigen, पक्का है कि patient को HBS infection है. Generally this will disappear within 3 to 6 months. ठीक है, and if it is persisting beyond 6 months, it means that the person has turned into a carrier. ठीक है, I'll repeat once again. One of the most important antigens that will help you in detection of hepatitis B will be hepatitis B surface antigen, HBS antigen. This appears 6 weeks after infection and it will stay for around 3 to 6 months. After 3 to 6 months, it will disappear. If it is staying even after 6 months, it means that the patient has become a carrier. They can be a asymptomatic carrier or they can be a symptomatic carrier as well. But what we do know is that they are a carrier. Okay. Then corresponding to this antigen, you will have an anti-HBS antibody. This is another marker. Okay. Generally IgM type of antibodies, yeah, this will appear 3 months after onset. Okay. 3 months after onset of symptoms, you will start seeing anti-HBS antibodies. So sometimes it can be IgM. Initially it is IgM. Later on these will become IgG. ठीक है, जो immunoglobulins है, initially there will be IgM type of immunoglobulins, later on they will become IgG type of immunoglobulins that will stay in your body for a longer period of time throughout your life, essentially IgG. ठीक है, you will find some other these two are the most important ones. You can find some other serological markers as well. For example, you can find something called HBe antigen. This is one that is derived from the core protein. core protein of the virus will help in making this antigen. The core protein itself will act as an antigen. ठीक है, core protein derived antigen है ये. This will present transiently for 3 to 6 weeks during an acute attack. Whenever the patient is having acute hepatitis and they are having acute attacks of hepatitis, that is when you start seeing this core antigen. Okay. If it is staying for more than 10 weeks, normally this fellow will stay for 3 to 6 weeks. Okay, during acute attack. If it is staying for more than 10 weeks, if it is persisting for more than 10 weeks, it indicates that the person has chronic liver disease. Okay. It will also indicate that the patient has become a carrier. Okay. Once again, HBe antigen is a core protein derived antigen. Core protein is a protein that is present inside the virus itself. Normally, whenever the patient will have an acute attack of HBV, hepatitis B virus, this fellow will appear 3 to 6 weeks after incubation. वो time के around रहता ही है. And if it is persisting for beyond 10 weeks of incubation, after 10 weeks of incubation, for a long period of time, it will generally indicate that the patient has developed chronic liver disease and they have turned into a carrier. ठीक है. Now there are other, इससे corresponding you will see a core protein antibody as well. All of that will happen, but for now these are the most important ones. Any antibody that you see will be IgM type or IgG type. ठीक है. There are 3 4 different more antibodies and antigens that are involved in HBV, but these are the important ones that you need to remember. Sometimes you will also see the DNA of the virus itself. So you will start seeing HBV DNA in blood. If the viral load becomes very high, you will start seeing HBV DNA. Generally pre-symptomatic stage में, pre-symptomatic phase में, you'll start seeing HBV antigen, sorry, HBV DNA in the patient's blood. Yeah. So that is about hepatitis B. Now, one another virus that is very closely associated with HBV, and it is kind of an incomplete virus and it relies on HBV. That fellow is HDV. Okay, I'm skipping HCV for now. I'll come back to HCV after HDV. Hepatitis D virus has an incubation period of 30 to 50 days. But that is not the important part about HDV. The important part is that HDV is a defective virus. It cannot do anything without HBV. Okay. Now, in every class, you will find one friend who will only study because of one other intelligent friend or another friend who studies or something like that. Okay. Otherwise, that friend is generally useless. But because of the other friend who is studying, this fellow will also get motivated and he studies. The same is the case with HDV. Okay. That fellow as is useless, but maybe not useless, but it is defective definitely. HBV जब भी रहता उसके साथ this fellow will become very active. ठीक है. So it can occur to a patient. HDV infection can occur with HBV as co-infection. So co-infection as in both the viruses are occurring together. ठीक है. The patient is getting infected with HBV plus HDV. That is co-infection. That is one way hepatitis D can occur to a patient, or it can be a super infection. Super infection में क्या होता है? The patient is already suffering from HBV. Generally, the patient has chronic HBV, or they are in the chronic phase of hepatitis B virus, or they already have some sort of hepatitis B virus. On top of that, they are getting HDV. ठीक है. So HBV के ऊपर HDV अगर आया, तो that is a super infection. If both of them are occurring together, that is co-infection. ठीक है. Big difference between them, especially based on the outcome. What will happen to the patient after this happens? ठीक है. So let us suppose the patient is having co-infection. I hope you guys are following along. If you're not understanding anything, or if you want me to slow down a little bit, please feel free to ask. I'm going at this speed thinking that you are understanding. ओके. तो को इन्फेक्शन जो है, को इन्फेक्शन में क्या हो रहा, एक पेशेंट को इधर से HBV अटैक कर रहा एंड लेट अस सपोज इधर से HDV अटैक कर रहा. ठीक है. बोथ ऑफ देम आर अटैकिंग टुगेदर. दिस इज हैपनिंग टू अ हेल्दी पर्सन. ठीक है. So in a healthy person, what will happen is co-infection. This is in healthy person. As a result of co-infection, there can be three consequences. Majority of times, 90% of times, what will happen is the patient will recover and they will get immunity. Okay? In 90% of cases. Infrequently, so let us suppose in 7% of cases or 6% of cases, infrequently, the patient will develop fulminant hepatitis. Okay? And this fulminant hepatitis can lead to death. Rarely, so even more rare, infrequent is other rare. So imagine this is 7% and this is 3%. Okay? Rarely what will happen is the patient will have chronic hep D and hep B virus. Sorry, chronic hep B and HDV hepatitis. ठीक है, so acute hepatitis से chronic hepatitis बन जाता है and it will be because of both the viruses, and eventually what will happen is this will turn into cirrhosis, irreversible liver damage. ठीक है, so the consequence of co-infection in a healthy person most of the times will be recovery and immunity. Sometimes they will develop fulminant hepatitis wherein most of the times they will die, and rarely the patient will have chronic hepatitis B and D co-infection. ठीक है, chronic hepatitis बन जाता है वो, which will later on develop into cirrhosis. Okay, I hope ये clear है. If you want me to explain this again or if you did not understand it, please feel free to ask. Okay, now वो co-infection था ना, we'll look at super infection. In super infection, the patient is already having HBV. ठीक है, यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, the patient already has HBV and later on they are developing HDV. ठीक है, तो it can be a person is a HBV carrier or they can be a HBV chronic HBV patient, either way, and उनके अंदर HDV virus आ रहा. ठीक है, whether they are a carrier or they are a chronic HBV patient, HDV is attacking that person, and as a result what will happen is again three consequences here as well. In 80% of the cases, majority, the patient will develop chronic HBV and HDV infection, HBV, HDV hepatitis, which will lead to cirrhosis. Remember, in that case, in case of co-infection, most of the patients will recover. In this, most of the patients will develop cirrhosis. 10% of cases, ठीक है, they will develop acute severe hepatitis. ठीक है, and they will recover. In the other 10% of patients, this is more uncommon, fulminant hepatitis होता, leading to death. ठीक है, fulminant hepatitis is hard to control, that is why it leads to death. ठीक है, so that is the main difference between chronic and co-infection and super infection. Co-infection में most of the time the patient will recover. In super infection, most of the times the patient will develop cirrhosis. Very few times they will recover properly. Sometimes they might die. Okay. So that is about HDV. Now the serological markers that you see with hepatitis D virus, mainly you will see hepatitis D antigen. Okay. You will see this in blood and on hepatocyte. So you will see it on the liver cell itself and on the blood. Uh, and you will see a special type of antibody which is anti hepatitis D antigen. ठीक है, सॉरी एंटीबॉडी. This is initially IgM. Later on, it will become IgG, which will persist throughout your life. Okay. Now, the direct cytopathic effect of this virus is on hepatocytes. Okay. Even though the exact mechanism is not known, what we do know is that whenever the patient has hepatitis B, because it is co-infection se ho raha ya super infection se ho raha, the effect on the hepatocyte will be much more aggressive in this scenario. Okay. So that is about hepatitis D. We'll continue with hepatitis C in the next class. Okay.